Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode or week of the IRA Options Income Series. So I'm going to cover the trades that were made, the closes, the opens, the rolls, and all of the income from the past 7 days from the last video on December 9th. Before I jump into that and go over where we're sitting right now in all those positions, I wanted to quickly do a follow up on last week's video or on Saturday or Friday night's video covering the most recent Velocity portfolio update. And I had mentioned I was close to monetization and shared a little bit about my story and things like that. And great responses and great comments. Thank you everybody so much for all the comments. It was really heartwarming, and I didn't even expect that kind of outreach. So thank you everybody for those comments and those responses and watching. So obviously with that video, it's pushing quite a bit closer to monetization. Not quite there yet, but I anticipate being there probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks is my guess, by the end of January for sure. And these videos are obviously helping get there. So what I wanted to really quickly cover, as I'd mentioned, any monetization efforts from this YouTube channel I want to use to donate a portion to different charities or organizations that I can find. And I think what I've decided to do is any proceeds from YouTube that I'm paid. I also have a Snowball Analytics affiliate link, a TraderSync affiliate link, which is what I use in these videos for the Options Income series. And that's all I have right now for any kind of monetization efforts. I don't plan to create any kind of paid Discord or products or anything like that. I'm not really interested in doing that. I'm not trying to make money off of people. So what I want to do is with anything that I earn from those things, the affiliate links or this YouTube channel, I want to invest into one fund that I do not already own. And then use the dividends or a portion of those dividends that I receive from that fund to donate. So if you guys have any suggestions for a good fund that I don't already hold in my portfolio that is, pays a higher rate, not like a 3-4%, but maybe in the 8 to 12 to 15 range, something like a Neos fund or Round Hill or something like that, or I got recommended Curve funds because I don't own any of those. Let me know if there's one you really like and I'll take a look at it. And I want it to be just one fund. All proceeds will go into it, and then a portion of the dividends will get donated. I haven't decided on that yet. It's going to depend on dollar amounts and things like that. The only one that I have looked at and considering right now is IYRI, which is a Neos real estate fund. Pays about 10% yield, and it has seemed to be pretty stable in the last year or so. And I don't have any real estate in my portfolio for the most part, so I thought it might be a good addition. So again, invest proceeds into that fund. Let's say it's IYRI, and then use the dividends that I receive from that to pay to a portion of those dividends to pay towards charities or organizations or just help random people. I love just if I'm at Chipotle or something and just cover somebody's meal or pay for the person behind me at Starbucks, just little things like that, random acts of kindness. I like to do that kind of stuff. So anyways, getting into the video here. So I had this up so you guys could read this while I was blabbering. This is the strategy that we're running in this portfolio, has not changed. Although I'm considering making adjustments to it. I'm not going to do that yet, but I'll report if and when I do. And it would be related to the 50% profit. But for now, this is what we're sticking to, and it's working pretty well. I'm going to show you guys. I've been running this for 3 full weeks as of yesterday, so let's call it 3 full weeks. I started November 24th, 2025 is when I had sold off everything I had in this account and started using this specifically for the wheel. And obviously running through today, I wanted to quickly show just a rate of return, a time-weighted return here. So 3 weeks in, I'm not beating any of the indexes, nor do I really expect to in such a short time frame. But I'm actually pretty happy with where it's sitting at. I'm at 1.79%. I'm getting tripled up and doubled up by most of these, but this was actually worse yesterday and Friday when I looked at it. So the market has come down as a whole the last couple of days, and it's allowed my account to kind of catch up a little bit. And I think that's going to be the case where if the market is just skyrocketing, I'm probably not going to keep up. If it's flat or even maybe going down a little bit, I think my strategy will work pretty well. But, I've read posts online of people running this same strategy that are getting 50, 60, 70% returns per year. I've seen one as high as like 120%. They were selling on higher volatile or higher volatility stocks and funds and indexes. So I'm not trying to do any of that. So that's, I'm not expecting that. I am shooting for 20%. That's kind of my kind of slowish steady. And from what I've seen, that's very, very achievable. So my goal is 20% per year minimum that I want to make in this account return. So we'll see how it winds up. We're 3 full weeks in. I'm up 1.79%. I just wanted to show this really quickly. I'll show it more as we go on, but wanted to give a quick update on that. Jumping into the actual transactions from this past week, there's actually quite a bit of activity, as you can see here. Some opens, a couple of losses, which were rolls that I'll get into, and a couple of closed win positions. So this is from December 10th through tomorrow, or actually today's the 16th, right? Yeah, my days are all off. So what has been done since then, since the last video? So I've returned $194.48. This does include commissions and fees. So 0.46% for 1 week, which is not bad. 7 closed trades, and the average hold time was 10 days. So if we jump into just looking at, let's start with the losses, which was 2 rolled positions. So if you roll and you were down on it, then it's closed as a loss because you're closing that initial put that you sold at a loss because you had to pay more for it than you received, right? And then you're subsequently opening another position. So this is the first leg of those rolls. So first was Campbell's, CBP. I had initially sold the put. And I was also requested to put what the expiration date on these holdings were. So you'll notice that I have the expiration date here on the end. So you can see this is cut off a little bit, but January 2nd, 26. So now you'll be able to see this on all my positions as I go through them. Going back to it. So I initially sold it here on the 24th when I started this account, and it was in the money. So I rolled it at the same strike. I could not go down. I rolled it 3 weeks out. It was at 21 days. So that's the plan is to, when it hits 21 days left to expiration, I'm going to either close the position for a small win if I'm not in the money. If it is in the money, I'm going to roll it to the same strike or down if I can for a credit, and then 3 weeks out to make it another 42 to 45 days to expiration. So that's what I did here. I rolled it. I was not able to roll it down in strike and get a credit, so I kept it at the same strike, rolled it out 3 weeks, and I was able to collect a net profit, but I did have to pay a negative $16 here because I received $66 up front and I had to pay $82 to close it. So I lost $16 on this position. Going to MDLZ, same thing. I opened this one though on December 1st, and then it was in the money, and I rolled it for a $80 loss. So quite a big loss on that one, but I was still able to roll it at the same strike out 3 weeks, and I received a net credit. So we'll see how those rolls end up being, but those were the 2 losses on rolls from this week. Going into the wins for the week, we had 5 closed Bank of America here. Received a total profit of $36. That was the gross. Net $34.68. Net on Chipotle $25.68. Net return on BROS is $168. $58.68 on PayPal and $76.68 on Starbucks. And you can see that hold times here: 9 days, 7 days, 7 days, 11, 13. Lastly, going into what was opened, so new positions opened in the last week, quite a few. We've got 8 positions that I opened in the last week. So I opened on Intel. Let me scroll over so you can see the expiration dates here. Intel, Kava, Bros, CPB, MDLZ, ASTS, BITX, and PayPal. BITX, I don't really want to mess with double and triple leveraged funds too much, but BITX I'm bag holding in the Velocity portfolio, right? I've been going over that. I've been holding it for a few weeks now, and it's just so low right now. Bitcoin's been getting beat up, and I just thought it was a good opportunity to sell on a position at a good price, which I'll show the chart on here in a second. But I don't plan to do too many double and triple leverage funds. It was just kind of an opportunity I wanted to take advantage of. We'll see if it pans out or not. ASTS and PayPal. ASTS is a little bit riskier, but I believe in it long term, so I do think it'll bounce back up. So those were the open positions, and then just going into the portfolio as a whole here. So currently the balance is at $42,581. So far, a net return in 3 weeks is $1,011.02. Total of 2.43%. This is a little bit different than what I showed here because this one's a little bit delayed and doesn't have some of the positions already. So they're going to be off a little bit, but I'm up 2.43% net return. I've closed 21 trades and my average win. So the wins, not the losses here, but the wins, average close is 6 days, which is not bad. I'm selling, 30 to 45 days to expiration, and they're closing on an average of 6 days. So that's pretty quick. And you can see down here the monthly in November, in 1 week I made 385. We're now 2 weeks into December and I've made 625, 26. And then I wanted to quickly show, again, small time frame, but here's the profits I've received from particular positions. $182 from ASTS. Sorry, tickers, not positions. This is multiple trades on particular tickers. BAC, and you can see I closed, or BATX is still open, so I have a little bit of a loss there. Bros, I've made 198.70. Kava, CMG, CPP. Same thing here, just opened that one. Intel, big loss on MDLZ. We'll see how that ends up. O, PFE, PayPal, Rivian, Starbucks, SoFi, US Bank, and Verizon. So I just wanted to show that real quick. Going back to the dashboard here, that's pretty much it for that. So let's cover each individual trade real quick. So you can see I've got an open position on PayPal, closed green today. This one I actually just reopened recently. Yesterday I reopened it, and it was a red day when I had opened it. I chose the same strike that I had previously, so it's 58. I'm still down at the bottom of this big red bar, and it's just been kind of consolidating in this range. Here's our expiration date. Going to BITX, this was an opportunity I saw. It's been, like I said, crypto has been getting just beat up. Bitcoin's been getting beat up recently. You can see since mid-October, early October. So I saw an opportunity here. I saw this, what a lot of people call a bullish candle, and maybe a level of support here. So I decided to go ahead and take the chance and sell it here at the 24 strike. We'll see if that holds up or not. Expiration date's out here. ASTS, I actually sold this one on yesterday as well. And big red bar. So I had sold it right here. I had initially sold it right above the 50 moving average, and I thought, okay, cool, maybe it'll bounce off that. And then it continued to blow through it. A little bit green today, which is good. But I'm all the way down here below the 100-day moving average, and you can see what happened during the last 100-day moving average. We had a big red bar, and then it shot up like a rocket. So no pun intended. So we'll see what happens here. I like the strike. I went a little bit more conservative on this one. I think I sold the delta closer to 20 rather than 30 because I wanted to get below this 100-day moving average. MDLZ, this is a roll, right? I rolled it back here somewhere. I was in the money. Another big red day today. It looked like it was coming up. This one's a little scary because the 55 now looks like a level of resistance rather than support. When I had initially sold this, I thought it was going to be a level of support, and now it's becoming resistance because you got a hit here, a hit here, a hit here, and it's bouncing back down. So hopefully it can break through this 55 before we get to the expiration date. CBP, similar story. Big red bar here. This is what caused me to have to roll it. I was doing okay on the position. And then same thing, 29 has kind of become a level of resistance here, which is going to go against me, right? So it's bounced up and hit it a couple of times. Big green bar here and then shot back down. So we'll see what happens with that. Still very early. I think I've got like 41 or 42 days left on those two. So long time to go. Bros, this one's been pretty good to me, as you saw from the profits I showed. My strike is all the way down here below the 100-day moving average, so we're doing pretty good on this one. It's been pretty bullish lately. I've been kind of bouncing in between the between the 100 and 200 moving average here. And then Kava sold to 49 here, which I think is a level of support. We are above these two green bars and nothing else really close. So this is kind of the mid-range point. Some might see this as kind of a head and shoulders, but this very well could come up and bounce off the 50 moving average and shoot back down. So we'll see what happens. Intel, this one I sold recently, right here on the 11th, so a few days ago, last week. And then, so I sold it here on a red day. And I thought, okay, we're a little bit below the 50, we should be fine. And then it touched it today. So it's now below it. So the 50 SMA could become a level of resistance rather than support. So we'll see what happens with this one. Some might view this level here as a potential level of support. So I might be okay, but again, still a little ways to go. See what happens. HPQ, sold this one recently. Chose to 24. Started going down towards it. Shot back up a little bit today. Rivian. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the last one, I think. I don't think I have SoFi at the moment. Probably should have looked at this first. What do I have open? Sometimes I forget. I have 11 positions. I know that much. I do have an open SoFi position. Okay. So SoFi will be the last one. So Rivian, I had sold. When did I sell Rivian again? On the 5th. I opened it on the 5th. So you can see back here. It was on a red day, but it was at the top of this. And then shot down and touched it. And then shot back up like a rocket. And now it's kind of coming back down again. Still quite a ways to go though. And it's been pretty bullish lately. And then last but not least, last but not least is SoFi that I sold on the 1st, December 1st. So all the way back here. Sold all the way back here. It has now since dropped through the 50 moving average and down below the 100 moving average. And then this is now the halfway point of this big red bar. And you can see it came up and touched it today and acted as a little bit of resistance. We'll see what happens tomorrow. There was some bullish sentiment around it recently, so that's what propped it back up. And then, but this could go into a free fall, I think, all the way down to here if we get some more bad news. But I think there could be a level of support right somewhere in here. So quite a ways from my 27 strike though. So a little bit nervous about this one, but if I get assigned, I'll start selling calls. Have not taken assignment on any positions yet. Have rolled a couple first rolls so far. We'll see how those play out. So yeah, the account is doing pretty well so far. I'm very happy with the return in just 3 weeks. I will keep reporting on a weekly basis and see what kind of activity we have for the coming week. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next video, which will be the next Velocity portfolio review, either on Friday night or Saturday morning of this coming week.